Thanks very much. Like any good Marine, I always carry two things, a knife and a lighter, so curtains are not a problem. Hey, good evening, everyone. I appreciate that. Dr. Carvalho, thanks for the kind introduction. And thanks for continuing to serve selflessly. You know, Dr. Carvalho has served both in and out of uniform for 4 decades, give or take, and that's pretty special. General Ayala, again, great to see you again, sir. And all the other distinguished guests, family and friends, you'll forgive me if I don't go through a list of names. I think everybody distinguished here has been covered, and for the rest of you, again, an honor to be here. Thanks to all, in particular, of the Henry Scoop Jackson Foundation members here for hosting this tonight. Pretty first-class event. One thing you'll never see at an event hosted by Marines is teleprompters. I had no idea what those things were. Bulletproof shields or something in case anybody, my jokes bombed and somebody decided to take a shot. What's particularly impressive is they seem to go up and down with the level of speaker. So I realize I may be the only history major in the room here tonight, so I'm fighting some slight feelings of inadequacy among such an impressive and accomplished group of men and women. Well, look, I certainly don't have a medical degree, but I got a long history with, and I've long been the beneficiary of, the great work that our military medical professionals do. As Dr. Carvalho said, I'm an infantry Marine, and you, those of you, the medical professionals in the room, and those like you have saved the lives of many of my Marines and sailors over my time in service. And for that, I am profoundly and eternally grateful, and I certainly will never be able to repay you. It seems like the older I get, the more time I personally spend with folks like you. And just not something I'm really proud of either, but it's kind of inevitable. So thanks for that. So look, while all the honorees here tonight truly have been impressive and worthy of recognition, you know, our thanks and our congratulations, I believe tonight we really did, in fact, save the best for last. Tonight I have the great honor of speaking to you about a truly extraordinary human, U.S. Marine by the name of Corporal Reyes. So Travis was the member of the flight crew. He was the aerial observer and the gunner on a Marine Corps V-22 Osprey that was deployed during most of 2023 to Darwin, Australia, where we have a rotational presence of about 2,000 Marines, Marine Air Ground Task Force. And on the 27th of August last year, 27th Australia time, 26th here in the U.S., the Osprey that Corporal Reyes was on crashed off the coast of northern Australia, the Tiwi Islands, while in the process of inserting a company of infantry Marines for an operation with the Australian Army. And that aircraft went down pretty hard in the jungle and burst into flames immediately upon impact. There were 22 Marines and 1 Navy corpsman on board the aircraft at the time. 4 members of the flight crew, 3 of whom were killed in the crash. Everyone else on board was injured to a greater or lesser extent. Corporal Reyes, who was the surviving crew member at the back of the aircraft near the tail ramp, was by far the most seriously injured of all the survivors and immediately fighting for his life. So the ground force commander in the infantry guy in the back of the aircraft that day suddenly found that when the flight crew was killed, he was the senior Marine, senior officer alive after the crash. And he was a young infantry first lieutenant named Joshua Watson. It's my son. And so this story and the opportunity to be here with you tonight is personal, and it's particularly meaningful to the Watson family. So Lieutenant Watson helped coordinate the medevac of Corporal Reyes and the rest of the survivors to an Australian hospital and our Australian docks, and then U.S. military medical professionals kind of took it from there. You're going to see a video here in just a minute that tells a really incredible story. And it's focused on the accomplishments of the medical team, some of whom are here tonight, that successfully evacuated Corporal Reyes back to the U.S. And it's a story that brings to mind words like epic and historic. And it's fair to say that Travis would not be here with us today without the Herculean efforts and the incredible skill of some of our heroes of military medicine. A true team of teams that stretched from Australia to Hawaii to here in San Antonio. But as you watch the video and you marvel at the work that these professionals did to bring Travis home, I'd ask you to keep something in mind. That all their great work, all of it, would have been in vain if not for the grit and the determination, the mental and physical toughness, and the positive mental attitude that belongs to Travis Reyes and him alone. The odyssey that he has experienced over the past 14 months has truly taken him to the limits of human endurance and would have killed a lesser human many times over. It's a story of remarkable courage and survival against all odds. And I can tell you that Travis's recovery has not just been important for its own sake. The emotional well-being of the other 19 survivors of that crash has been inextricably linked to the outcome of this incredible story. Travis Reyes, his courage and persistence in recovery, his absolute refusal to give up, has mattered not just for him, but for the long-term well-being of all the other Marines on that aircraft. So now please, if we could, let's cue the video.
You are doing awesome. I'm so proud of you. Nice. Just cross the line. I like it. You're taking really big steps, dude. You don't need to take such big ones. Beautiful.
So ladies and gentlemen, one of the things you should have taken from that video is that none of us does this alone, and Travis Reyes is no different. He's an extraordinary Marine, but he has had an extraordinary team of medical professionals. And he also has an extraordinary family, most of whom are here today. So here with his wife Jasmine, his parents Joe and Karen, and his in-laws is one of my personal heroes. And tonight's hero of military medicine, Ambassador Honoree Corporal Travis Reyes.
Good evening, everyone. It is such an honor to be here. Sorry I'm so soft-spoken now. I look good on that thing. I used to be a lot more handsome, but they had to take the other half of my face because I was too good looking. So. But it kind of messed up how I speak, so the whole right side of my face doesn't work. So it's hard to understand me, and I sound like an idiot. It's because I am one. So I'm so grateful to be standing before you today and receiving this award. There have been many moments where I thought I would never make it, but because of my amazing support system and astonishing medical teams, I'm able to be here in front of you all today. Firstly, I would like to thank 3-1 Lehman Company for utilizing their knowledge and training to keep me alive while waiting for the Australian flight medics to arrive. I would like to thank my previous unit, VMM 363, for their continuous support for my wife and throughout this difficult time in our lives. I would also like to thank the Wounded Warrior Battalion for supporting me and for guiding me and my wife in this new path in our Marine Corps career. Next, I would like to thank the medical team at the Royal Darwin Hospital and the Alfred Hospital in Australia for their astonishing knowledge and efforts that saved my life. Their accomplishments in the time that I was there, were truly remarkable. Secondly, I would like to thank the Vanderbilt University Medical Center for their distinguishable capabilities that also contributes to my recovery. I would like to thank the BAMC ECMO team and the medical team of the Institute of Surgical Research Burn Center for their great success in transporting me from Australia and back into the United States. The ISR Burn Center has been a significant part of my recovery because I have spent a majority of my time there, and they have truly shown what military medicine is all about. I've experienced their dedication and the drive it takes to guide their patients to get back to their life. I've also worked closely with their physical and occupational therapy team, which have played a crucial role to push me to walk again and to slowly start to do things that I enjoy. I am truly appreciative for their support, proficiency, and also the friendships I've made along the way. I would like to thank the physical therapy and occupational team at the Center for the Intrepid for helping me with the remainder of my therapy to strengthen up and continue doing things I enjoy, such as skateboarding. My wife hates it. Next, I would like to thank my parents, Joe and Karen, my brother Stephen, and my in-laws, Jenny and Mel, for their amazing support and love. Finally, I want to thank my wife, Jasmine, for being by my side from the start of all this, for taking care of me inside and outside of the hospital, for making sacrifices for me, and for her endless love. I'm not crying, you're crying. At this time, I would like to invite my medical team from BAMC and the USAS ISR on stage to join me. Burn psychologist of the ISR, Dr. Deanna Denman, ECMO transport coordinator for the ISR, Captain Matthew Wood, BAMC ECMO transfer primer, Captain Sarah Juhas, burn physical therapist of the ISR, Dr. Madden Meyer, Chief Medical Officer of the ISR, Lieutenant Colonel Lisa Williams, and finally Medical Director of BAMC, Colonel Terrence Larnigan. Thank you very much.